Hey y'all, it's Sid and I am back for week number 32. So I only have 8 weeks left, which is super awesome but super crazy. And this week was kind of a fun week. I got to go to my doctor's appointment, which, like I said, I think last week, I do once every 2 weeks now, as opposed to once a month. So I went to my doctor's appointment, talked to her, asked some questions. She said my belly was actually measuring about a week behind, but she wasn't like super concerned about it or anything. So I did that. Trying to think. I don't think anything really that big or important happened. I just asked a couple questions. I did ask about his kidneys. I don't know if I ever fully explained this, but he did have like a blockage in his kidneys at my 20-week ultrasound, which she said is actually just really common with boys. It's really not that much to worry about. Most of the time it would resolve by the 3rd trimester, and even if it didn't, they would monitor it all the way up to him being a year old before they would like take any kind of action. It's not a huge deal, and I was like right on the cusp of like where they would worry about it. Like I was at like the very first number of like the range to where like they would worry about it. I was like right there. So she did mention, though, a lot of times in the 3rd trimester they will do another ultrasound just to like check on that, and so I asked when that would be, and she said probably towards the end of the end of my 3rd trimester. So it won't be super soon, but like kind of super soon, which will be exciting though. I'm just glad that like I'll get to have another ultrasound, because that'll be fun, getting to see him right before he comes, which is just insane. So there's that. And then I also went to my childbirthing class this week, which it was kind of long. Like it went from like 8 to like 2:30 or something like that. We were just like hanging out in a classroom all day, learning about, you know, childbirth and that whole thing. But it was really informative, and it was really good because I went to it at the hospital that I'm getting birth at. So I was able to ask like any questions that I had, and like all of the policies that are like specific to that hospital. I got to kind of learn about, which was really nice. So that was a cool thing. I was glad that I went and did that. And then tonight I actually have a breastfeeding class. So I'm going to go do that and see how that goes. I'll kind of update y'all next week on that and how that works out. But yeah, those are like the two like kind of main things that happened this week. And to the point, oh yeah, sleeping has been hard for me a couple times this week, because I'll wake up at like 2 a.m. and I'll have really bad acid reflux, which it does depend kind of on what I eat. So I've been trying to like eat like a little bit, not healthier before bed, but like trying to eat things that won't give me acid reflux before I go to bed, because if I don't, then I'll wake up, I'll have this acid reflux, I'll feel like I'm like choking, and I'll have to sit up, and then I'll, you know, prop my pillows up, and I'll have to sit kind of like sleeping up, and that kind of hurts my back a little bit. But it's like the only way I can really sleep. So yeah, that hasn't been super fun. It's made it kind of hard because I'll just be in like a very dreamlike state all day, because I'll be really tired, but it's not like the worst thing ever. It's just not really fun. And then I also, so last night was the first night that I felt him move, and I was like, ugh, like that kind of hurt. Like that was weird. And so that's kind of fun because he's like getting to the point where he's big enough, and it could just be the position that he was in too. But it happened yesterday and today where he like wriggled somehow, and I was like, dang, like that hurt a little bit. And so I'm like, oh gosh, like I still have 8 weeks left, and he's gonna get bigger, and it's only gonna get worse. Because as for right now, it's obviously not like that bad, but it was, I don't know, kind of fun. Not fun, but like fun that he's that big, that he's starting to like make that happen. And the other thing is that he has the hiccups all the time. The child is constantly hiccuping, which is a good thing. I think I've mentioned it before, how like my midwife said that that's a really good sign that he is having good brain development, and so that is not a problem for me. I think it's so cute to feel his little hiccups in there, and to feel him moving around in there, and he's like constantly all over the place. Like people will be like, where is he? And I'm like, I don't know, like, because the only time I can really tell where he is when he's moving, but he's constantly moving. So if he's not moving, I'm like, well, you know, an hour ago I felt him over here, but then 2 hours ago he was like down here, and like all of that, which again, you know, he's getting bigger, so it's like he's kind of everywhere at this point. But like as specifically like where he is, I'm not sure. When my midwife did check to see what his position was, he was in the same position that he had been in 2 weeks before, which was with his head down in like my bottom left side of my stomach, and then his legs were across in the right side of my stomach, so he was laying like across in my belly as opposed to like head up or head down, which I didn't really know was like a thing, but apparently babies can chill like that until they get big enough, and then they just can't fit and they have to kind of pick a side. But yeah, so he's still chilling out in that position. He's just hanging out, which is fun, and it's really cool. I'm like, again, like excited and scared. I think I talked about this last week, with labor coming, but it has kind of gotten me to the point where I'm like, okay, I really need to focus on, because I do kind of have a birth plan, and so I'm like, I really need, like, and that includes like laboring in the water and like not getting an epidural and all of these things. So I'm like, okay, I really need to focus on like different things that I can do to help as much as possible through natural labor and help prepare me as much as possible for natural labor. Obviously, it doesn't matter what the heck you do, there's not going to be any kind of like full relief. Labor's gonna hurt like crap, and that's just that. But obviously there are like different techniques and things that you can try to kind of like help relieve that as much as possible. So that's been something I've been researching a lot lately, as well as you know, just different things. As far as I've been doing a lot of research on vaccines, and cloth diapering is another big one. I really want to attempt to cloth diaper, or like try cloth diapering out. I think it can help save you a lot of money, and that is nice because of the situation that I'm in. I could definitely use the extra money if I'm not spending it on disposable diapers and wipes and things like that, but it's one of those things that I'm still trying to get into, because I feel like it's a lot more complicated than it sounds like when you're first trying to research it. Like, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, I think I pretty much understand the basics of everything, and the washing routines, and how they're different, and just like all of this stuff, the different types of cloth diapers you can get, the different like sizes of cloth diapers, the different brands. But like at first it just was so overwhelming, and I was like, I'm never gonna understand all of this, but I think I'm getting it down. So that is something that I am looking into, and I really want to try. If y'all are interested in any part of that journey, I can kind of keep y'all updated. But yeah, so it's just been a lot of kind of getting ready and just keeping, like, wrapping my brain around, like, what I need to do. I actually got to meet with one of my friends that I hadn't seen in a while, but she had a little girl about 3 months ago, and so she was just giving me all of these tips and, like, telling me exactly, like, how her labor had gone, and the things that she had done, and, you know, just, like, how having a newborn was for her, which obviously, like, that kind of stuff is different for everybody, but it's still nice to have, like, tips of things that she used, and, like, in case something that came up for her comes up for me too, because it totally could, then, you know, I can use her tips and stuff. Like, it was just, like, nice to, like, talk to her about that and everything. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it for this week, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my belly. Okay, y'all, so here's what my belly's looking like this week. Right here. And then, don't worry, I do have a dress on, but I also have shorts on, so not a big deal to show you what it looks like without the shirt. But yeah, so that is what I'm looking like. Let me grab my tape measure. So it looks like this week I'm at about 40 inches, which I can't remember if I was at like 39 or almost 40 last week. I don't really remember where exactly I was at. This week I'm at 40 inches. Alright guys, that's it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions or anything like that as always. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.